Welcome back. So I've picked Angular as the front end. I've created a REST API as my backend. I've even decided I want to use WebStorm for my IDE. So now I can actually start coupling everything together and start writing some actual code that can start presenting the data for me in a UI. Now to start using Angular, if you just go to the main page, Angular.io right here, there's a Get Started button right here in the top. And this is actually where we start introducing how we could use Angular. And the first step is to actually go to nodejs.org and start installing a NodeJS server right here. And what is Node.js? Well, Node.js is a JavaScript runtime built on the Chrome V8 JavaScript engine. It pretty much just means that you can now execute JavaScript on your machine like if you were a web server. So right now, every time you go to a page, normally some JavaScript is run to do some blinkety blink. Like this might be some JavaScript. Just if you notice these pictures moves a little bit, it could also be some CSS, but JavaScript is run inside a browser normally, and what Node.js does for you is actually make your machine able to run JavaScript on your machine or on a web server somewhere to actually execute and work like a real server, like we're used to Java doing, C# doing, and whatever else framework, PHP, whatever framework you like to work with. But this is actually a way to start creating a web server and a lot of other different environments inside JavaScript now, and that's pretty amazing. Now I'm going to install on the Mac, I'm going to install LTS, the latest version right here recommended for most users. So you can just follow the guide right here. I'll start by downloading it. After the downloader has completed, I'll just run the installation right here. It's the same for Windows pretty much. I accept the license agreement, select where I want to install it, put in a password right here, and it'll install my Node.js right here inside my system. Now you might need on Windows to do a restart, and it'll put up some different paths right here you might want to use. But what is important pretty much is that if you open up a terminal of some kind, you should now be able to write node like this, and it should start a new terminal like this. And you could also write node help, I guess, to get information about how you can use node. You could also write node version like this to figure out what version of node you're using. Same with something called npm version like this, and you know what version of npm. Now, Node again is the framework that we're going to use to actually execute JavaScript code on your machine, and npm is actually a package management system that we can use for Node. So that's just a quick and dirty introduction to Node.js. We're going to use this to actually start working with our Angular projects. We're going to start using Node.js for that. So that's why you need to install it, and it should be the same for Windows and the Mac. So just go and do that, and see you next time. Have fun.